Don't hold your breath.
It's time to
Like I
breathe again.
said.
Yep. Time to breathe again on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube and Facebook. I am Charles. I have
Oh,
Patrick with me. What you do?
I forgot my notes at work. Well, I guess I'm gonna freestyle it.
Well, all right, it's cool. Yeah, we kind of used to this, so it'll be all right.
Yeah.
We're okay. We're all right. It'll be all good.
So you're
Nah,
saying this is
man.
gonna be a
Look,
normal show, is what you're saying, PJ?
basically, yeah. I was about to say,
Okay,
wait a
man.
minute, man.
Who's
You
gonna do?
doing notes? Come on. That's not how you roll. But I know
Hey,
it's gonna come off as really, really well thought out instead of thought out. Off
I
your
mean, you know what my notes consisted of?
what?
Who won the division? Who's going to win the divisions?
There you go, man.
That's it.
And you know what, man? And yeah, so let's jump right into that because man, this is a loaded show. So, um, before we get on those picks, let me tell everybody that for everybody who might have been watching March Madness and Women's March Madness, seeing what's going on with the NFL draft, hey, the baseball season is starting on Thursday. So, Patrick and I, before every season, we always get our picks in, and we're going to use this forum to get these picks in right now, as a matter of fact. So, Patrick, before we get into those picks, though, I want your thoughts on what exactly this particular Major League Baseball season means, because last year, ugly all the way around. Had COVID going, the baseball, they couldn't get their season started normal, and it was about like almost 4 months before they did actually agree to do a 60-game season. And it was a great opportunity for Major League Baseball to kind of bring the nation together a little bit. Because, like we say, sports is there to help bring people together in times of division. And Major League Baseball, normally in the summer, they can do that. Well, they didn't do it because they were fighting over money. So now that they have a full season in place about to begin Thursday, what does this particular season mean, not just to you, but what you think to everybody else?
Well, I mean, based on what they were doing last year, you only get 60 games, and I mean, very condensed season. And rolling into the new season where you get a full season, you get all 162 games. They've had their spring training. Everything is looking like it's kind of going back to normal in baseball. I think this is huge because baseball they kind of got to lead into that whole post-COVID era, I guess, kind of thing. And baseball's allowing fans back in the stands. They're traveling. They're not, forcing the mask the way, other sports have forced it. I mean, honestly, I think this is huge because baseball is bouncing back. That means all sports are about to bounce back. And and I know we're fixing to get into it, but you look at the NFL and their whole new season that they're getting into, which like I said, we're going to go over that in just a sec. But I mean, I think this is huge for sports. I think this is huge for the fans. I think this is huge for everybody because, well, money's about to start flowing again. And when you have an economy, and a lot of people still forget this whole situation that, this economy, as much as we don't want to look at it as a business because of people's security and safety and da 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 da, people still forget that the economy still produced $22 trillion before COVID. And now we're looking at possibly breaking that as an economy. And baseball is one of those things that's helping push that along. So I think this is going to be huge for everybody. It's a big season. Baseball is coming back strong. You're going to start seeing all these other sports come back strong. So I mean, I think this is a huge step in the direction of our new normal.
Yeah, I think this is very important for Major League Baseball too, because I look at it as an opportunity. And yeah, we get money is going to continue to roll in because I mean, even with fans not being in there, that's obviously a big part of it. But these TV deals, we know what these TV deals are bringing
Yeah.
to the table. Um, but for the fans to be able to maybe go to the stadiums. I mean, I know you mentioned that earlier. Down here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, the Rangers they want full stadiums right away. I'm talking,
And they're not taking any no for an answer. Florida's
yeah,
the same way. Georgia's the same way. The South is just like we're not dealing with it. We don't care what. Well, we care, but what we're saying is we're scared of what is going on, but we're not going to continue to live in fear of it. And I think that's what's huge about the whole thing is that people are starting to get to this point to where they're just like, okay, do I need
yeah,
a shot? No. Am I going to take it? Probably not. Do I need a mask? No. Do I need to carry one? I'll have it in my pocket. Whatever.
yeah. And so if they're gonna bring full crowds out now, I think they'll. I don't think it's gonna be like that for the whole first part. I know for the
They're breaking it up in quarters, from what I
I
read.
know, I know here. I don't know how it is in the other spots, but I know here they want the home opener for. I think it's April 5th when Toronto comes here. They want that full capacity, and then I think they're going to try to space it out. I guess maybe every other seat have it 50% capacity, and then eventually during the summer, then they can get back to full capacity. But I think with what is going on, what went through with all the labor disputes and stuff. I just think it's just a very important season for Major League Baseball because they have to repair some stuff, man. And then they got to get with the program. The way they're doing things, it's very old fashioned. And so they got to start to evolve with the times, get more into the marketing aspect, the advertising aspect, the online aspect. They have to start doing that because really, if you think about it, look, Mike Trout, just to throw this as an example, Mike Trout, he's supposed to be the best player in the league, right? But if he walks down the street, is many people recognizing him? Probably not. You know, not like they would one of your famous football players, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, not like in basketball where they would recognize a LeBron or Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. You know, these
But that's
they
the
have to
beauty
do a
about
better job.
baseball.
Yep. And so they
You know
have
what
to
I'm
do
saying?
a better
That's
job.
the beauty about baseball is that you can show up in your beat up 1999 F-150 and grab your bag out of the back of the cab and you're good. You know what I mean?
And
So,
so no, and you know there's pros and cons to that, you know, because normally, hey, you know, you could go about your business and you don't have to worry about the fanfare that would come with it. But
hey,
if
Park,
they're
what's up, man?
about marketing, but but if they're
Parker just said, "What's up? What's up, Park?"
I see them, man. Hey, thanks for coming on here and getting with us, man. But yeah, I think if they're about marketing their star players, this is a good start. Get back to the season, get your 162 games in, and during the summer, what they always call baseball, the boys of summer, the national pastime it used to be. That's somehow they got to find a way to get back in there. I get it, football is king in this country, I understand, but baseball can get their piece of the pie too, but they're not going to do it without doing a better job. So,
Oh yeah,
so
they got to spend money to make money, and they're not spending money right now. But I do feel with the way that they're going with this year, I do think that the pressure is on for them to spend a little bit more money, start marketing those people. But I mean, I do think that they want to do that, but they can't go too far into the whole marketing where it blows up like Mike Trout walking down the street and getting raped by fans. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I think they still want to keep that as their thing where they can walk down the street and people are like, "Oh, Mike Trout, what's up, man? What's up, dude?" And you don't need those. You don't need your bodyguards. You just continue life. But as a millionaire,
Well, all right, Patrick. Well, let's get on the picks, and we'll start. Okay, National League won the championship last year, so we'll start there. And I guess we'll start in the National League West because the team that won it resides in that division. So,
Okay.
uh, I'm pretty sure you and I are going to agree with the winner of this. So I'll just ask you why.
So I'm going Diamondbacks.
Are you?
I'm lying.
Yeah,
I
you gotta stop.
Diamondbacks. Get shot in the face. I'm going Dodgers, man. And why else would I go with Dodgers? Why would I go anybody else in that division except for Dodgers, man? Proven commodity. They're showing up to the playoffs every season, and they're scrappy. They're scrappy as hell. And I'm not. There's no other reason to go with any other team. There's not a reason. Dodgers until proven that they can't do it. Let's roll with them. Plus, that freaking lineup is sick. So, no, Dodgers.
Yeah, there's not a weakness on that Dodgers squad. Yeah, I got them winning the division handily. I know San Diego has made some moves, and I mean they signed. They signed Fernando Tatis Jr. to a long-term deal. Of course, they got Manny Machado locked up. Bringing in Blake Snell to shore up that pitching staff is going to help a lot. So I think San Diego is going to make a little bit of noise, but nah. Dodgers are so loaded. That pitching staff, look, they're so loaded at the pitching staff. Clayton Kershaw is probably going to be your number 3.
Yeah.
Like they're that loaded. I mean, behind Trevor Bauer and Walker Bueller, though, I mean, they are loaded in the pitching staff, loaded in the lineup. It's going to be hard to knock that team off. Yeah, that's all I got for that one. So yeah.
Need you say more? No, that pitching staff is crazy. That lineup is crazy, and I mean the only thing you can hope is the Dodgers do not do what they normally do, which honestly probably wouldn't matter because their closers are freaking nasty as crap too. But you kind of hope that they let their starters run 5, 6, hopefully 7 innings before you really come out with your quote unquote middle relief or closer. But no, I'm Dodgers, man. Dodgers all the way. You said handily. Yeah. This team, and this just to put this in perspective, this team should win 110 games minimal.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
They're good. They're freaking good.
Very good. Well, all right. Let's get to the National League Central. This one, a little bit tougher, man. I'll go ahead. I'll put my pick out here. I'm gonna go with Milwaukee.
Ooh. Dang, we just lost Charles, man. He's gonna have to get back on here, but I'm gonna cover up for him until he gets back. He's gonna go Milwaukee. He's probably gonna say something about his this lineup for Milwaukee. They made some moves and got some people in, and they're going to be looking pretty strong. And we'll see how that goes. But he's back.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. First time that it happened, man. I guess the stream it kind of messed up on me, but it popped right back on. So I was like,
"Oh, well."
I was going
to say you're probably going to hit this. You're going to cover these Milwaukee moves that they made and shoring up their lineup. So I'll leave it at that, but I'll let you finish.
Did you pick Milwaukee?
I did not, no. But okay. I was covering for you until you got back.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And no, but those moves, bringing in Jackie Bradley Jr. I guess they have to fix up they have a crowded outfield. So they can go ahead and kind of break that down to see who's going to be starting and then who can come in there and they can give some relief there. Then I think Milwaukee is still the best team in there. I do like St. Louis. St. Louis, you always have to take them seriously. And picking up Nolan Arenado from the Colorado Rockies, wow, uh, big time move for St. Louis. And the Cubs, they're still going to be there. They still have a good lineup, but I don't know where their pitching's at. That's what stopped me from picking the Cubs. So I'm going Milwaukee. I just think they're just the best team in that division. And I like the moves they made to kind of shore up the lineup, and their pitching solid too.
Yeah. No, I did not go Milwaukee. I'm actually going St. Louis. I got the Cardinals.
St. Louis?
Yeah, I got the Cardinals.
Good pick though. I mean, St. Louis is always gritty.
They're solid, man. They're not there's not a glaring weakness in St. Louis at all. Now, am I saying that they got the Dodgers lineup? They got the Dodgers roster? No, but I feel with what they have done is they're a solid team. You're probably going to see the most consistent team out of the National League, minus the Dodgers, in the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think that they are strong enough to put up some points, but their defense, I'm relying on a lot of their defense because they're going to make some plays that are just phenomenal. Their outfield is great. Their infield is solid. Their lineup is solid. So I got the Cardinals.
To me, it was between those two, Milwaukee and St. Louis for sure. And like I said, I give the slight nod to Milwaukee. Just it's nothing against St. Louis, really. I just kind of think Milwaukee has a little bit more in terms of the all-around team. Like I think their pitching is a little bit better than St. Louis, and I think that's where the difference we made. I think the lineup is pretty much a washout, especially with the Cardinals getting Nolan Arenado. Man, wow, like that, that makes them really stout.
That makes sense.
But when we get into the wild cards, I might have one of those teams in there. So
I figured you did. I think you got St. Louis as a card. I figured you had St. Louis as a wild card. Crazy enough, I do not have Milwaukee making playoffs.
Okay, I can see why. I'm pretty sure I can see where you're going with this. But let's get to the National League East, and who do you got winning that one?
I got the Braves. Of course, I got the Braves. Now, and the reason why I got the Braves is they didn't lose anybody. And that pitching staff. The problem that the pitching staff had last year in a condensed season with 60 games is the fact that those playoffs were crazy hard. I mean, everybody's pitching staff went to crap after the second series. Every one of them, right?
A lot of back-to-back games.
A lot of back-to-back games. So with that being said, I think that what you did was you shored up everybody that's on the Braves roster. But the biggest part is that you have just given these young guys that is on that pitching roster experience being put in this position of back-to-back games, exhausted arms, exhausted legs, everything that you could possibly put these kids through, these young men through, let's put it that way, they experienced at a young age. Now they're going to have this back to normal playoff system where you get your off days between the second game and the sixth game, or the second and third game and the fifth and sixth game. You're going to get your off days, which means it's going to give some of these guys a day, even 2 days more rest than what they got last year. I feel that if the Braves had those rest days, they would have gave the Dodgers a better game.
Well, they would have beat them. It would have beat them, I think.
Maybe, but you have to look. The Dodgers got the same amount of rest. They would have been able to throw out Kershaw out there in Game 6 and not in Game 7, or Game 5 and not in Game 6.
Well, Patrick, they were up 3-1. Like it's really not that much.
Yeah,
The
but
Braves were up
even though they
3-1.
were up 3-1, even at the end of that series, the Braves had better pitching, even at the end of that series. Statistic wise, they had better pitching. The problem is that without those rest days, the pitching tended because they were so much better in those first 3 games that even with their crappy performance in the last 3 games, it didn't matter. The Braves still had such better statistics in those top 3 games than those bottom 3 games. I don't think it would have mattered. Honestly, my personal opinion, I don't think it would have mattered. You're going against the Dodgers. The Dodgers had a great team that last year. I don't think it would have mattered. I think it was still probably would have went 7 games, and the Dodgers would have probably won because they would have had the same amount of rest. I just say that you move forward now. That same Dodger, if the Braves went against that same Dodgers team this year with the rest plus the experience, I think it's a better. I think it would be a better series for the Braves. Last year, I just didn't see it. But extended season, you're playing 162 games. A lot can happen in 162 games. Yes, we're picking the Dodgers, but they could have a lot of injuries and force them to lose to, let's say, the Padres. You never know. So I think the experience with the Braves roster is probably going to be a lot better this year. So I got the Braves.
Yeah, and with the 162 game season, this is how I feel about the 162 game season. To me, that's just like a long series in the NBA. I think over time, the better teams start to pan out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with the Dodgers, for an example that you have brought up, yeah, you're right. It does leave a little bit more time for injury to take place. But then again, I mean, all it takes is one day to get injured as it is. And I think as long as everything just kind of prolongs, people, especially if you have these injuries happen early, then you can give these people chances to get back. And then the rest of the teams, especially with the Dodgers and the Braves for that matter, they're so talented, they can withstand that and they'll be all right. I got the Braves as well. And I don't even think it's close. I know I keep on hearing the hype train about the Mets. The Mets are garbage to me. I'm sorry that I don't see them doing anything. The Phillies, they're garbage too. I don't see them doing anything. The Marlins have a lot of young talent, so maybe they can start to get going. And I mean, hey, in this advanced or this playoff scenario that was thrown up there, they made some progress. They got in there and they swept the Cubs. Now they ran into the Braves and the Braves knocked them out quickly. But but the Marlins have some good young talent, and the Nationals they're going to compete. I mean, the Nationals ain't going anywhere. But to me, this team, the Braves, they are the biggest threat to the Dodgers, not the Padres. I know everybody is on the Padres for that move. I get their division rival, but no, the Braves are the biggest threat to the Dodgers because of what you said. The youth, the blend of youth and experience, and one more year with that pitching staff being experienced as well. Um, I think it would also give them a little bit of time to get the bullpen, especially, kind of squared away. I think their starters are pretty solid, but the bullpen, like you say, you had a lot of those young arms, kind of a condensed situation, and they're kind of they're just running around. They're just I'll go out there and pitch. All right, I'll see what I
Yeah,
can do. So,
Braves really they live that whole next man up.
yeah.
It was
So
crazy. We need a pitcher. I'll go.
yeah. So
Matt,
yeah, I
you're
get the
a catcher.
Braves. I get the
Whatever.
Braves, the nah, man. I mean, and that lineup is super stacked. We know about Ronald Acuna Jr., Baez, Dansby Swanson, and of course Freddie Freeman is your reigning National League MVP. So I mean, yeah, we know the Braves are loaded on. They're just loaded. I see them winning close to 95, 100 games as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, well, all right, Patrick. Wild cards. Who do you got?
Well, a lot of people are on that Padres train. I'm not gonna lie. I like what they're doing, man. I do. I like what they're doing. I got the Padres and the Nationals.
Okay, Padres and Nationals. I like it. I have the Padres and Cardinals.
I knew you were going to pick the Cardinals.
Yeah, dude, I can never leave the card. It seems like every year I have to have the Cardinals in there because they're just so scrappy. It doesn't matter
They're
the
so
year; they're
scrappy,
so
man.
scrappy. But the
For me,
Nationals are a good pick too. I do like the
well,
Nationals.
it was hard because I was actually going between the Nationals and the Brewers, and because I was looking at what the Brewers were doing, man, and I'm like, God, they're going to be a good team. Um, I'm leaning on the fact that the Nationals still have a team. They still have that same group of guys.
The foundation.
That foundation that has just been solid for them for the past 2, maybe 3 years. You know what I mean? So as much as and don't get me wrong, I was going back and forth. I was like, Brewers, whew, man, that is a solid team on paper. Will it translate on the field? Don't know. What I do know is the Nationals have already translated on the field. So I went with that. That's the reason why, and that was the only reason why I actually went over the Brewers with the Nationals. So yeah, I got the Padres in the Nationals.
Nice. And yeah, I'm with you with the Padres. I do like what they're putting together down there too. I mean, I talked all that mess, but they have a squad.
They're
They
making
they
some moves.
definitely have a squad.
Yeah, I like them. So I mean, like, and again, do I see what they're translating on paper, or will what they're doing on paper translate to the field? Still yet to be determined. But I do know adding Machado to that lineup really, really picks that lineup, and they're excited in San Diego, man. Like, not only the fans are excited, this team is excited. And when you said the Braves are the biggest threat, I agree with you. Behind the Braves, it's the Padres, and only because this team is excited. They are ready to play, and I think they're going to be something to deal with in the next couple of years. But I do got them making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, oh no, me too. I think they're hungry. They're very hungry.
They are.
And so they're like, hey, look, we know we understand we have to spend a little bit of money. Let's go get these dudes. And we got a guy who can be a face. I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr. is a man that is pretty. He's getting marketed pretty
Yeah.
well now, and so that this is a guy where they're looking at him like, hey, he could be the face of our franchise and maybe the face of Major League Baseball in a few years. Let's lock him up, give him this 13, 14-year deal, and we'll ride with them. We'll go from there. So I like what San Diego's doing too.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So to sum it up for the National League, we both have the Dodgers. You have the Cardinal. No, yeah, you have the Cardinals, right? Winning
Mhm.
the okay. So you have the Cardinals. I have the Brewers. We both have the Braves. Your wild cards are the Nationals and Padres, and mine's are the National or the Padres and Cardinals. Okay, sounds good. Let's go to the American League, and we will start with the East Division. Do we see anybody knocking the Yankees off in this division?
Nope. They're a heavy favor across the board. Honestly, I don't know anybody that's picking. Maybe my boy Jose is picking Boston, but that's it.
Yeah, but Boston will be improved, man. But
They are not on that Yankee level, man.
no,
Nobody's on that Yankee level. The Yankees are the Dodgers of the American League. They are loaded. I mean, loaded.
I
I don't see
still
anybody beating them.
I
But
still think
but
they lack in pitching a little bit.
well, yes, but you know how the Yankees think. They think only one way. If I put up 14 and they put up 13, we still win. You see what I'm saying?
It's,
But that's the way the Yankees think.
it's
And
true.
I'm fine with that. You think that. But this is the beautiful thing about what I say the Yankees are like the Dodgers in the American League, minus the pitching. And I do agree with you. You can score on this team, which makes this team beatable. They're loaded on the line, but they are not loaded in the roster where the Dodgers are loaded everywhere. So the only team that you can really compare the Yankees to is the Dodgers from the National League. That's it. But I mean, they're stacked, man. They're gonna they're probably gonna break a home run record for the Major League Baseball this year.
Yeah.
Again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if everybody stays healthy, yeah, they're.
I don't even think it matters. I think their bench could probably put up 45, 50 home runs in this season. They're that freaking stacked on the line. It's
In that
almost
ballpark.
and in that ballpark, yank to 305 in the freaking right
In
corner.
right field, the right field porch.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna be yanking a lot of them over there. So I mean, I got the Yankees winning, but they are beatable. They are beatable, and the
Yeah.
only team to beat them would be the Blue Jays. But we'll see.
Yeah, you mentioned the Blue Jays. Now, yes, I'm with you. Definitely, Yankees will win the AL East, but I do like what the Blue Jays are trying to put together. Picking up George Springer is a very, very nice pickup there. And of Toronto, they have a lot of young talent. Just see how they come together. Black Guerrero Jr. We'll see how he picks his stuff up. I heard uh, he was having a pretty good spring training, coming down nice, like slimmed down. Look,
Oh, it's like 25 pounds, bro.
yeah, looking pretty jacked now out there. And so I like what Toronto's doing with that young talent. Boston, we mentioned they'll be improved. Uh, and then the Orioles. I don't know what to say about the Orioles. Poor things. Uh,
I know, right? You just want to you just, you just want to like cuddle them and be like, it'll be okay. One day,
yeah, one day.
one day will be your year. Not anytime soon, but one day.
And Tampa
Fly,
Bay.
butterfly, fly.
And Tampa Bay, they'll scrap. We know that about Tampa. They're not going to Tampa. They're just that team. They're
They're
like the
fucking around.
Cardinals. They never go anywhere. You think they just don't have nobody there, and then quietly they have 85, 90 wins.
Yeah.
So, so Tampa Bay, they'll scrap. But yeah, the Yankees will win that division, and they should win it going away pretty solidly, I think.
Yep.
Here's okay. The American League Central. Now that one was an interesting one to me to pick two. Who do you have in there?
Let me see if you can guess.
I'm thinking you're going to go with the White Sox.
You are absolutely correct. I am going to go with the White Sox because that team look. Chicago, the White Sox look. They just look like they're having fun. That's all they're doing. They're just playing baseball and having fun, and that's scary in a lot of ways. It's kind of like how San Diego is, and they're just excited to be, in a conversation of playoffs. They're excited about that. That's scary because they really have nothing to lose. Well, White Sox are in the same way, but in a different mentality. They're just out there playing baseball and having fun. And you strike out, they don't get really too mad. They just like, and granted it is spring training. I know it really doesn't mean anything, but it translates to wins, and they're having fun, and they're having a lot of fun doing it. So I got the White Sox.
I am giving a slight edge to the Minnesota Twins.
Twins. I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah, I think the Twins
you started saying it really fast. I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I got the Twins in the playoffs. I'll give it away.
Gotcha. All right. Well, the Twins. I think it was back and forth between them and the White Sox. I think the Indians will put up a little bit of a fight too, but I think they're just kind of sliding down.
We'll lose them halfway through the season, probably before All-Star week.
I think they'll laugh because, I think the reason why I think they'll kind of stay in is because I don't think anyone is running away with that division. So I mean, I think this division in particular, yeah, and I think in this division in particular, I think 85, 90 wins will be enough to win this division. I think those teams, particularly the Twins and White Sox, I think they'll beat up on each other. The White Sox, they lost who was his name? Jimenez. They lost him for a good little bit. So I think that's a loss. But the White Sox have done a good job of actually putting together some young talent. So they may be able to curve the major impact of that loss a little bit. They're saying Jimenez could come back in August because I think he tore his pec muscle. But yeah, I think the Twins they just kind of huh.
What was he doing?
I think it was an outfield injury. I want to say, Google it. Just fact check me on that one.
When he reached to California to throw up.
I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. I didn't see the play. I don't know if it was like a collision with the wall, if he tried to dive and he hurt it. I don't know what happened, but I just heard that he's going to be out for 4 months. Yeah, and so they were talking about potentially for the season, but I guess they did another diagnosis and they said he may be able to come back in August. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I just think the Twins have a little bit more just well-roundedness to them right now. But I mean, I think it's going to be very, very close between the Twins and White Sox. But I'll give a slight nod to the
Twins. Good pick, man. Like I said, I got him in the playoff. I got him in the wild card. So,
all right, cool. Well, who do you have winning the AL West?
Who else? Los Angeles Angels, baby.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. Houston Astros, man, all the way. Houston Astros. Hey, come on, Angels got Mike Trout, man. He's supposed to be like the best player. Come on, man. You got to go with the best player because, the other 8 people on the field don't mean crap.
And they still horribly lack pitching.
That's probably dude, it would not surprise me one bit if the Angels are dead last in the league this year. I will almost guarantee you, I will put it out there. I will guarantee you the Angels will only win no more than 35 games.
35 games? Come on, Patrick. They'll win more than 35 games. Like the Tigers, they're winning more games than the Tigers and the Orioles.
Maybe. Maybe.
You're hating.
Maybe.
You're hating.
No, I'm not hating. I'm just being very extra. No, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they're the dead last. But I mean, like you said, there's the Orioles. I mean, God, there's the Mets. Everybody is like, oh, the Mets could win, but you know what? Mets have continuously found ways to be suckier than every team in the league. They are so good at finding ways to suck. It's pathetic.
My man, Mr. Met. Yeah. Sorry. It's so funny to me.
He's got the biggest smile on his face, dude. You cannot.
Yeah.
But no, Astros, man. The Astros, no matter how much they cheat, you cannot. I don't even understand why they cheat in that division, honestly.
Dude, I'm gonna give the edge to the Astros too, but I was pretty close to picking Oakland. I mean, probably closer than maybe I should. I mean, Oakland, I like what Oakland has. They have
Oakland has every year.
Yeah,
every single year until the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. Until they get to the playoffs, but they're kind of like right there, man. They can overtake Houston in that division. It seems like they're getting right closer and closer.
Years.
Huh?
They've been right there for 15 years.
Well, they won the division last year, though, didn't they? I know it's a 60-game season, but
does it count?
If we're going to go ahead and say the Dodgers are the world champions, yes, everything counts. Everything counts,
right. Yes, they will, but it was a condensed season, and you know how condensed seasons are, man. You get it. If you get hot, you can write out that 60 win. I mean, look, it's only going to take 40 wins to win the division. Come on, Oakland can win 40 games. Come on now.
Well, hey, look, I was close to picking Oakland, but no, I'm gonna give the nod to Houston as well. Um, I do think the George Springer loss will hurt them a little bit, but the Astros, they still have Altuve, they still have Correa, still have Alex Bregman. They're still pretty loaded, and their pitching is still pretty strong as well. So yeah, I'm giving Houston the nod there. Real quick before we give the wild cards out, the Angels. I just wanted to say this real quick. I am pretty excited to see how Shohei Otani comes back from this Tommy John surgery because I mean he and the Angels need to figure out what they're going to do with him. Either he's going to be an everyday player or he's going to be a pitcher. It's going to be hard to ask him to do both.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But the Angels still have no pitching, so they'll be around 60 wins anyway. All right. Wow.
You give them more hope than I did.
We'll get. I mean, they have to have more hope than saying they're going to be the worst team in the league when you got the Orioles and Tigers in there. And the Mets. Well, all right. So, who do you have as your wild cards? I know one of your teams was the Twins, right?
Minnesota Twins and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Whew, Toronto. I'm going. I'm going Oakland and Tampa Bay. I'm going with the proven product.
No, I will say I am surprised with the Oakland. Tampa Bay, like you said, it's a good pick. They're scrappy. They're always there.
Oakland's solid though. Are they not?
Are they not?
They make the playoffs. They might not do much when they get there, but they are in the playoffs for real.
That's true. You're just playing statistics right now, Billy Bean.
Hey, well, did you not in your National League pick? Nationals proven product, right?
Shut your mouth. Nobody's talking about National League right now.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You know what, Patrick? On that note, let's get to the NFL. And so, no. But before
I do have one question. I do have one question.
Yeah.
What made you pick Tampa over Toronto?
Tampa's just scrappy, man. Like I have picked against Tampa numerous years from making the playoffs, and they seem to make the playoffs every year. Yeah, so
Tampa is your Duke.
Proven product, yes.
Tampa, every time I pick Duke to win something, they lose it. And every time I pick them to lose it, they win it.
Yeah. So not this year. No, Tampa's gonna I think they're gonna get in there. Watch them not make it. But I'm gonna I'm picking Tampa. Yeah, Toronto to me, they just have a little bit more to prove. I mean, I like what they are putting together. I think another year I could see myself picking Toronto, but yeah, now.
Okay. I was just curious because I mean I kind of had a feeling you were going to go with the fact that they are that scrappy, and honestly they're probably going to be more scrappier this year than you've ever seen them. But I was just kind of curious if that was the reason why you leaned towards Tampa opposed to Toronto. But okay.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Well, Patrick. So let's see. We got a few of these NFL topics. All right. They are going to a 17-game season now. I guess it's official. Now, look, we know what it is with the NFL. It's about the money. It's a money grab. They're the first ones to sit there and say, "Oh, player safety, player safety, player safety," and then they add another game without a bye week, without another bye week. And so, I don't have too much to say about this except the NFL Players Union. I don't want to hear nothing else from them ever again, because this was a new deal they could have helped put together, and yet they are still pretty much caving into these owners' demands. So they get to add another game, which means more money, and they're when it comes down to it, everybody's about making money hand over fist. Just admit it.
And the crazy thing about this whole moving to a 17 game season is they're doing it without a bye week, and there's only one bye week in the season, or is there two?
One.
One. Okay, so that means they're adding an extra week to the entire season. What are they doing with preseason? Is this a 2 game preseason now, or are they staying at 4, or what are they doing?
That's what I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, they are staying at the 4. So that's something I would have. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it's just more money in people's pockets.
And this is what throws me off, and I'm a 100% agreement with 110% agreement actually with you with this whole players union. They had their opportunity, they pissed it away, and now here we are, 17 game season, and these players are going to be paid the same. So their contract states that this is where they play. This is how much we're going to pay you per season. Now their per game rate is now going down, as well as another extra game of possibly injury. But you know what? I mean, honestly, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel sorry for him one bit. I really don't. I mean, 17 game season, put it out there. Let's go. Let's go. But no, player union has nothing to say at this point. They screwed it, and here we are. So you want to give them all the power? You want to give the owners all the power? Give them all the power? Then don't be mad when this happens. Is what that's all I'm saying. As far as the 17 game season, I don't give a look. Those boys don't pay my rent. They don't pay my mortgage. They don't pay my car payment. Put them out there. Entertain me right now.
I mean, we're gonna watch. So I guess that's the thing about it. Of course, we're gonna watch, but the whole
players union screwed that, man. And that's where I have the problem is the players union did not take care of their client.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. Nobody's about what they're saying. And that's the thing that just upsets you the most about it. If you're going to be upset about something, because even the NFL and the players union, it's player safety. They say it's the number one priority, but it's not. Money and making money is your number one priority. And again, that's okay, but just admit it to us. Don't try to sit here and feed it to us that you're so worried about that. That's the only thing I have about that. So,
you hear what I say? I'm not out here to sugarcoat it. I don't really care what people think. I want to watch football. 17 game season makes it more interesting for me. Good. That's fine.
So
one more week on FanDuel.
Well, let's talk about the move. There was a move that was made last week by my team, San Francisco 49ers. Decided to trade up in the draft. So we were sitting at number 12. We moved up to number 3 in the trade with the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Yes. The Dolphins turned around and traded their 12th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles so they could stay or come back up to number 6. So, in other words, we're sitting at number 3. Philly is at number 12. Miami's at number 6. Now, I bring this up because that puts us a spot ahead of your team, Patrick, the Atlanta Falcons, who is sitting at number 4. Now, quarterbacks seem to be the thing that's so hot now. I mean, whatever. But for us, I know for us, I don't mind a move just simply because our roster, it's ready. If we can stay healthy, it's ready to compete right now. We can, and the general manager, John Lynch, and the head coach, Kyle Shanahan, very transparent about how they want to do this thing. They want to keep Jimmy G for this year, and they feel like their best chance of doing something now is with Jimmy G as the starter. We'll see about how healthy he stays, of course. But if not, then we can get one of these other quarterbacks, which I feel like we will probably draft either Justin Fields or Trey Lance. I know there's a lot of Mac Jones chatter, but I don't know if we're going to draft Mac Jones. I think it'll be either Justin Fields or Trey Lance. If Jimmy G gets hurt, then hey, it's trial by fire. You put him in there. But if you're going to have a quarterback in a system, then I think it would be a system like ours. Not just trying to talk mess because I'm a fan, but it's a quarterback friendly system. It's run first. It's bootlegs, it's play action, it's to get quarterbacks in the move. It's very quarterback friendly. And Kyle Shanahan is a very good play caller. Time management guy, not so much. But but
But you give him the play calling.
yes, they're very good play caller. So I like that for my team. So I bring y'all team up because y'all are sitting at number 4. Do y'all draft a quarterback, Patrick? I'm asking this because since you're a Falcons fan, so I just kind of want your view on this. Do you get a quarterback with that pick, or do you get somebody else, or do you trade down to get some picks? Because Falcons need some picks.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to trading down to get some picks. But let's be honest. I've said it for years. This Matt Ryan is not the man that takes us and wins us a Super Bowl. He's just not. You don't have the weapons you have in Atlanta and lose 2 Super Bowls while you're doing it. Matt Ryan should at least have one. At least one. And he couldn't deliver. My personal opinion, it's like this. And I doubt, come on, stupid phone, stop it. My phone started trying to tell me what I was fixing to say. But sitting at the 4, let's put it this way. I would say this. I'm high on Devontae Smith. High on this man. If he is sitting at 4 and he's not picked yet, we pick him up. And you put the best wide receiving core in God's green earth ever to step on the field, you put it out on the field.
So basically, you have Alabama East.
Hey, I will take it because those 3 wide receivers are probably some of the best 3 wide receivers you'll ever see in the game. You know what I mean? They're just that good.
I do think Devontae Smith is the best receiver in the draft. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm telling you, if he doesn't go 1, I'm wondering why.
Maybe even the best player, to be honest.
Yeah, like I said, if he's not going 1, I don't know why. I would not pick any other player. If I'm sitting with the number 1 draft pick today, I will tell you right now, I'm taking Devontae Smith. Point blank, period. That is what I'm doing. I don't care what anybody says. No, you need to go get a quarterback. No, I do not. I'm getting that man right there. That's where I'm going. If he's sitting there at 4 and he's still available, I take him. If he is not, I take Mac Jones.
Gotcha. And trading down, you're not.
I'm not interested in it because, truthfully, the thing, this whole mindset, and we have to understand that Atlanta has a whole new coaching staff coming into this new season, and they are about winning. They are not taking any. They're not taking any crap. I mean, they're willing to put people up on the chop block just to see, and they don't care. I mean, even Arthur Blank is even talking like, if Matt Ryan doesn't want to play, we'll roll somewhere else. I mean, they're about winning at this point because you don't go where Atlanta has for 7, 8, 9, 10 years and not get anything out of it. And Matt Ryan, and you know it as well as I do because we've said it many, many times, he is an every other year quarterback. He should have already had a Super Bowl under his belt, and he should have the experience of winning, and he has none of that. And if you put Devontae Smith out there with Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, tell me who's going to double team Julio Jones with those other 2 men on the field. Nobody. Plus, on top of that, we still have to look at Julio Jones is how healthy is he going to stay on the field every year. So if Julio Jones is out, you still have Smith on one side, Ridley on the other. So it still shores up that whole wide receiving core if he's available. I personally don't think he's going to be available come 4th pick. I think he's going top 3, top 1 if people are smart. But If he's not available,
it's quarterback heavy. You know how these,
but
especially with the Jets. No, whatever. We're not talking
about the Jets.
Yeah, whatever.
Jets will look at that and go, Devontae, who? I don't know who that is. Did he play football last year? Let's go linebacker. For what?
And see the thing, and that's the thing. See, if you're going to make a move for a quarterback, then to me it would be like what the 49ers did, because what they're saying is that roster is ready to compete right now. Why wouldn't they think that? They made the Super Bowl a year ago, and then they had a lot of injuries that kind of derailed them. COVID, a lot of stuff was happening last year to a lot of teams. So I'm not trying to make that as an excuse, but if they are able to stay healthy, you feel like maybe drafting a quarterback for the future, or maybe perhaps putting you over the top is where it's supposed to be, I'm cool with that move because you already have the team in place. Just like with the Rams picking up Matthew Stafford, they already have a team in place. Number one defense in the league last year, and they have receivers, they have a running back, and a good offensive line. If you're in that situation, then I can understand you making a move to get a quarterback. Other than that, hell no. You better have a team around these dudes, because if you're gonna sit there and make a draft pick or perhaps make a free agent move without having a team in place, 9 times out of 10 you are going to be horribly and sorely disappointed in the results, because they are not going to be what you think, because you didn't build anything around this quarterback who is supposed to be the savior. And these quarterbacks just aren't that good to be the savior. It's just that simple.
Detroit.
Yeah, like unless you have one of those dudes like a Brady, and even Brady, he's got a team around him. And so and so that's the thing. You got to be able to have teams. Again, football, ultimate team sport. But I understand where you're going with the Falcons pick. The Falcons I think they need players, man. So we'll see what they do with anybody else who from that cap space that Matt Ryan has freed up. I think Atlanta does have some pretty good draft capital, so we'll see what they are able to do with those picks. And another thing with the draft also, it is about, I know I get it, the number one or the first round, second round, I know those are the splashy ones, but those rounds 4 through 7 are where your general managers and your personnel departments really come through, because you got to find jewels. You got to find diamonds in the roughs in those rounds. And so
and just so and let me add this, just so everybody understands what Charles is saying, Tom Brady was picked 299 in the 6th round. Just so you know.
199.
199 in the 6th round. Tom Brady was picked 199. Just cannot repeat this enough. 199 in the 6th round. You're talking about the GOAT of the NFL. Not because he is actually a phenomenal player, but he is smart. He's smart. He went 199. Just so you know. First 2 picks, I agree with you, Charles. Those first 2 picks, those are the flashy picks. 4 through 7, those are your Super Bowl picks.
Because that's your foundation building picks.
That is your foundation picks. Those are the picks that you're looking at. You're like, oh man, first round, second round, this makes our fans happy. 4th through 6th, this really makes our fans happy.
Yep. Oh, all right. So Patrick, we have a few minutes left, so let's get a little bit in on March Madness. So, I think Gonzaga went on to destroy USC. I forgot what that score was.
I can pull that up right now.
It was like 64-43 or something when I had seen it.
I think it was worse than that. Where's it at? 85-66 final.
Yeah, so Gonzaga goes on to the Final Four. UCLA and Michigan just tipped off, I think, or about to tip off.
Yeah, they already have.
Okay, and then you have Houston and Baylor in the Final Four already. So, real quick, congrats to Houston and Baylor for getting there. That's going to be a fun game when those two play. That is going to be scrappiness personified. Those are two very scrappy teams. And of course, soft spot, they're from Texas. So you know they're going to be scrappy. Look, Patrick, hey, you got to forgive me for that. You got to forgive me for this, okay? Because my Texas team is garbage right now. And the athletic program is a little trashed right now. Well, at least the women's team made the Elite Eight. We got smashed by South Carolina tonight, but it's okay. It's all right. Oh, man. Well, Patrick, we're going to wrap this one up, man. Everybody, hey, thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys check out the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. As I said, Patrick and I, we are working on these new additions still. It's been rough for us, man. We got a lot going on, but we'll get in there. We promise. Stick with us. Are you doing a shorty this weekend or this week?
I will not do one in this week.
Okay, cool. Understand. All right. Well, then I'll see if I can get one in there. And so
I do apologize. My week has went. My week went to shit yesterday. Excuse my language. My week went to crap yesterday, and it went to crap yesterday. So I am crazy behind and trying to get caught up, and hopefully by the weekend I'll be caught back up, and I will be back on doing a shorty next week.
All right. Well, everybody, take care, and we will I'll try to put some products out there for the rest of the week, and just stay tuned with us. All right, y'all take care.